Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, Tam Psych Advice. I'm Tamara, and I'm so happy that you're joining me today because we're going to talk about an interesting topic, and I would love your opinion, your feedback. If you disagree, you can let me know in the comment section because sometimes we've observed different things or we have a different viewpoint from each other, and that's okay. That's how we learn, that's how we grow. So today, my friends, we are going to be talking about the INFP and the ISTJ. What a wonderful pair, right? Is it interesting that I'm doing a video with those two types? What do you think about those two types together or being compared to one another? Do you think that's really strange or really weird? Well, in this case, I don't think it's weird at all. We're going to be talking about organization and disorganization. And, we can look at the letters. So they're both introverts, but one is a sensor, one is intuitive, one is a thinker, one is a feeler, one is a perceiver, and one is a judger. And so they almost seem like opposites, other than they're both introverted. And when you think of these types, what pops into your mind? I think INFPs are very deeply warm, fuzzy, caring type. They are very compassionate about people. They are usually pretty patient and understanding, and they can help us to all really get in touch with our feeling side. And they are just 9 times out of 10 are naturally very nice and kind people, and they sense when someone is down and when they need to step in and help, and they can be really great at that. When you think of the ISTJ, a lot of people think of ISTJs as being like the opposite end of the spectrum on everything. Like if you want to see extreme in a type, give them an I, give them an S, give them a T, and give them a J, and you're going to have the most rigid, all the way to the left personality type. And there can be some truth to that, but I think there's part of it is untrue. So I would say the truth to that is when it comes to work, they can be very serious about their duties, their responsibilities. They want to do what they're asked to do. They also want to contribute and do their job duty to the best of their ability. They don't mind working hard or going the extra mile. And they can, some types might think that that type is really rigid, but every type is super interesting in some type of way. What prompted me to do this video is someone made a comment in the comment section, and now I can't even remember which video it was, but it was something where I mentioned both of those types, and I said something about, I don't know, maybe it was something about orderliness or something like that. And someone put in the comments, and if it was you, hello you inspired me to do a video, so thank you. They said something about, wow, I can't believe you're putting me, an INFP, and an ISTJ in the same video. And so I'm doing it today because I think this is really worth addressing and talking about. So let me throw this question out there to you. Which one of these types do you think is really organized, and which one would you say is really disorganized? I'm sure you have an opinion on that. And I'm sure you're going to say, oh, the INFP is definitely the disorganized one, and the ISTJ is really organized. Well, I'm going to disagree. It might be actually the opposite. And maybe we can ask someone really, really smart like Dave Superpowers, and I know he's changed his channel to something else. He could probably explain to us why this could be the opposite of that. So if you see him, share this video and maybe he can explain it to us, because I don't fully understand it either. Because if I were to take a guess, I would definitely say what I just said, that the ISTJ is totally organized and the INFP is totally disorganized. But I have found the opposite to be true. And I'm not saying that there aren't some of these types that follow that exact line of, because there are definitely some neat freak ISTJs and there are some INFPs that are all over the place. So I'm not saying that, but there are a lot of ISTJs that can be messy, disorganized, can't get it together, are okay with a little adventure, a little chaos, and they have to fight really hard to get those systems into place. And it could be that they're introverted in a very extroverted world, or they have too much stimuli coming at them, and they just can't figure it out. They can't get it together. So they don't have the room or the capacity to be as organized as they want to be, because they're in the trenches and they are constantly fighting for it. I mean, I know there are some ISTJs out there that really, they want to be really organized. They want to have things all together. They want to have some patterns and some structure. And it just seems like they fight for it for years, or they just give up trying and they just can't figure it out. I know ones that have read books on messiness and clutter, and just it's not necessarily in the forefront of all of their minds. They're just doing their job and they're surviving, and it may not bother them as much as you think it does. But there's usually an area in an ISTJ's life where they're fighting for something that they just can't figure it out, whether it's cooking, they just can't figure it out, and it's really frustrating to them. So even though they seem like the most organized type, in many cases, it's not true. By the same token, I have seen some INFPs that are quite organized and methodical in their thinking, and they are thrown things that they need to get done or to make happen, and they create an orderly system that is effective, and they get that job done. Like they they can easily concentrate and get inside their own little world and make things happen. Now, by the same token, there are some INFPs that people think, oh my goodness, they're my boss, but they're all over the place, or they can't. Maybe they could be a little bit slow to give out directives or orders, or they may forget to give out directives or orders because they're kind of in their own little world and they're doing things at their own pace and they're not at a rush, and they may not get back to you, that kind of thing. Yes, that's possible. But there's also a lane where they can be a lot more organized and methodical in their thinking process and how they do things than what you would expect. So I'm not proclaiming to have the answers on that. I'm just telling you what I've seen. And I don't know what that's about. I'm not sure how to help in this situation, but I do know that types can be tricky. I mean, it's just like you think these two types, a type is one letter off and it could change everything. You know, one might be an extrovert, the other is an introvert, and it creates a completely different personality type. So I don't know. You let me know in the comment section what you think. I would love your opinion. If you know any INFPs, ISTJs, or if you are an ISTJ or an INFP, feel free to tell me I am wrong, that, it's the opposite of what I've just said. I just want to know what you think. Definitely like the video if you want to see more INFP or ISTJ videos. Hit the bell notification so you know when I release new videos. I try to put something out at least once a week, sometimes twice. And definitely check out my book. It's called Flip the Script on Love. So if you are passionate about love and you want to get it right, or you're struggling in that area in some way, check out my book. I know you're going to love it. Until the next video, bye.